Dude,
How's it going, man?
it's going well. I mean,
Whiskey's gone though.
whiskey's fucking gone.
Glass is
Sucks.
empty.
So we better fucking address it. We're doing just like a quarantine cure for the quarantine podcast. All your boredom, let it go away.
We're just gonna talk for a bit and just chill with you guys. Have some good times while you're chilling at home. We're chilling at home.
Dude, crazy times.
It's
crazy.
Very, very crazy. It's like I didn't think 2020 was gonna go like this. You know?
I thought it was gonna be shit wall to wall. Didn't know it was gonna be this bad.
I was like just another semester. Doing the same old thing.
I definitely thought I would be in school at this time.
Yeah.
I thought of all things, if somebody would be like, okay, listen, I'll give you $1 million bet on one thing that you think is gonna be true. I'd be like, oh, well, people will be in school during school time. Like, nope.
100%. And the thing is, we're still in school, but it's online, and they haven't let up really at all. If anything, it's like,
dude, if anything, they're way worse. I just had like a take-home test on some like thermal physics course. Yeah. Interesting as fuck, I know, right? And everybody I talked to was like, oh, that's awesome. You just get to take it home. And I'm like, it's the worst. Because I know every teacher that I've ever had that's given me a take-home test has made it way harder. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
They've all said, oh, no, don't worry. You can use the internet and also talk to people and also your book.
And
don't worry.
That's the scariest thing ever.
Dude, it's so bad.
You can use any resource. You're like, oh, fuck.
Because they follow it with, because it won't help. It's just
exactly. It's like you have to know your shit.
Shit.
That's what it comes down to. But no, it's been crazy. It's funny how like the rug gets pulled under your feet in terms of like your force structure. So now you have to create your own structure in terms of how you get everything done.
Dude, I feel like my sleep schedule's just been fucked up.
Yeah, because like when we drive to school, it's like, okay, now now we can just chill in the library for however long and do work. Yeah. But now it's like we're not driving there, so we're at home. What do you want to do?
Well, you're still getting up early, right? You're still doing you're trying to keep your routine the same.
Yeah, I wake up super early at like 6 a.m., start moving, and then I start trying to be productive where I can. Just because
I'll
if
get
I don't,
a text from them at like 7 a.m. and I'm like, God, you make me feel like a fucking dude. You know what? You know what made me so mad?
What?
Dude, so mad. This man over here, I'm about to ride on you so hard.
Oh, so, dude.
He literally texted me. No. I came over like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, man, I just had a really like a good like hour long nap. And he's like, that's not a nap.
It's not a nap. Okay, keep going.
And I was like, excuse me? He was like, no, it's sleep, dog. Like anything past 30 minutes, you're sleeping. And hey, you know what? Really. Hey, fuck you, Because napping in the afternoon's fine. But fucking sleeping through an afternoon, that's for alcoholics and pedophiles, I say pedophiles because I assume they want to get on like the same schedule as the kids.
Oh, dude!
I'm just saying, you made me feel like a piece of shit. Like,
well, the thing is, when you nap, when you go past around that 20-25 minute mark, you start to actually go into sleep and start dreaming. Your brain waves is completely different. Where you wake up, you're more groggy than what you started.
Yeah, so
your goal shouldn't be to sleep. Your goal should be to give yourself a moment to let your worries go off your chest and kind of relax and kind of resync.
Yeah,
and then close your eyes a little bit. But then you get up and then you start doing shit again.
I talk mad smack. But then again, I also then took a 15-minute nap the day you told me that.
But it felt great.
And it felt great. And I was like, this actually is way better.
Because you think you sit there, you're like 2 minutes in, I'm not asleep yet. It's like, just relax.
Yeah.
15 minutes go by, you're up, and then you're like, oh. You almost felt like you were about to go to sleep, but then you halt it.
Yeah. No.
But once you practice the art of just getting up and not going to sleep more, then it gets way better.
There's some dog noises happening.
Yeah.
If you haven't forgotten, we're in a quarantine, so everybody's in the house, which is kind of the worst all the time.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have no privacy anymore.
No privacy. People just walk in whenever, doing things and shit like that, You know
what else? Recently you've been getting into meditating, right?
Yeah.
Dude, so he let me meditate for the first time. Well, not let me. I've always been able to. I just never have.
We worked out and I asked him, I was like, hey, bro, you trying to meditate real quick after that workout?
I've never talked smack on meditating, but I've always internally kind of talked smack on meditating. Yeah. I've always been like, all right, dude, what are you going to just sit and think? Be alone with your thoughts? What are you, a serial killer? Come on.
Yeah.
But, dude, phenomenal. For those who have not tried it, it was maybe the most relaxed I'd ever been. It was so good.
Yeah.
Like we finished working out and that's usually which sucks during right now because it's like all the gyms are closed. So that's usually my thing of how I de-stress, how I, loosen up. But doing that and then immediately going to like just meditate.
Yeah.
It seems so cheesy, but I was like, gosh, this is why people do this.
Yeah, it feels you kind of have. And it's super awesome you had that moment your first time, because a lot of people they'll have like they'll try it and it's like they're just like, I didn't get this at all. Like they're trying so hard to get something out of it. You did kind of what you're supposed to do. We kind of just, yo, dude, just relax, bring it back to the breath, and kind of just take a moment to de-stress yourself. People,
I think part of it is
go to it trying to seek something. And
I think part of it is that we've done the channel for so long. So like listening to music, sometimes I was telling him I get the same feeling of like when you get into like meditation, where it's literally feeling lost in the sauce.
Yeah, you can kind of get in a trance almost of like a song or just a moment in life or anything like that.
How'd you get into that? How'd you start doing that?
I don't know, just kind of like this type of music, just the energy of like the hippie movement and all that type of stuff, and reading about it. And then just kind of like lifestyle videos, because I'm, just like waking up early, walking, reading, just doing things to like better yourself. And then one of the habits a lot of people will preach to you to get into over and over is like, oh, meditation. I was doing the same thing you're doing, where I'm like, oh, I mean, it just seems you're sitting there, yada, yada. And then over time, I kind of just sprinkle it in, and now I try to do it every day. But some days happen, some days don't. But, it's all about making more good steps than bad steps in the end.
It's true. So also, we were talking before we started this thing. There's some drama going on.
It's not drama. So I'm in a jam group with some buddies from high school, and we kind of just started out. The drummer's been playing drums for 10 years, really good. He can actually play a decent amount of Rush songs, super good. He can play some Tool, very good drummer. And then we have another friend, or two other guys, I'm not going to say names, but they both played saxophone for 4 years through high school. And then me. And so they're both picking up bass and like keyboard respectively. So they're just starting out. And so I'm trying to have
brand new,
learn.
like they haven't really played.
Brand new. So they have 4 years on like the sax. So they know music in their own sense.
So they know music, mostly, but they're just not familiar with those instruments, bass and keyboard respectively.
Yep, exactly. They played, I think, in band in high school, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And they said they mostly both played by ear, like along with
That's
it,
cool.
I guess. So I thought that was super cool. Anyway, so we got bass and keyboard.
I'll tell you this though. Because I say I play by ear. That's what I always used to tell people. Like, oh, yeah, I'm a self-taught, like, played by ear.
Yeah.
There is something to that where it's like, oh, they're really good. But at least from my case, so from my experience, it was more like I was lazy and I never wanted to learn. So it's like, oh, yeah, I play by ear.
My initial thought when they both said that was, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, shit.
So can you read any type of music? Oh, dude, I read the spirit. I just feel it wherever it's going.
Yeah, I feel the sonic range, and I start just dishing out the right sauce, the right time.
That can be rough
for it. But no, they're both actually learning super well. They're actually, it's awesome. And the thing is, I've been learning a lot of like theory and stuff from my guitar lessons that I've been taking these past like 6 months or so, and I've been teaching them keyboard and bass respectively, just from the knowledge that I have from guitar. And I never thought it would be that easy, but until you're like kind of like forced to like actually bring these like this knowledge out, you don't really notice it too much. Either way, so back to the drama. Either way, so the drummer wants to play a lot of like complicated stuff like Rush and things like that, which I'm all for. But my big thing was trying to get the keyboards and the basses adjusted just to songwriting music, bringing the major scale in terms of like just songwriting progressions, how to play in different keys and different shapes and things like that.
Well, dude, I'll just tell you this, like, because he told me.
Yeah, start somewhere.
It's good to start somewhere. Hey, don't start with Rush, Yeah,
I'm like, yo, let's play Brown Eyed Girl. Let's play Stand By Me. Maybe some Sublime, like Santeria. Songs that are fun that everyone loves, but they're not super crazy.
No, they're not.
Wish You Were Here.
They're not
going to
make
songs you can play.
Like beat your head against a wall. If you're learning, like, I can't imagine trying to learn Rush as your first song.
I just don't want to throw that onto the bass. Like, hey, you're going to learn Geddy Lee now.
Yeah.
It's like...
Hey, so we're going to go from never playing to playing Geddy Lee. That work for you? Yeah? Okay. Like,
Yeah. So my big thing is trying to figure out, like, the roles we play. Because I've been watching a lot of videos on the role of bass plays. I never really looked into bass too much. And I read a lot saying you can kind of use the power chord shapes to, like, follow through pretty much any key. Following the progression, it can go pretty good. And really getting in sync with the kick drum. Just to kind of, like, tie the rhythm section to the chords from the keyboard or the guitar. Just those frequency ranges. Like, the bass is that in-between stage that kind of glues it all together. So I'm trying to get us to kind of feel our roles. Either way. So they're trying to learn Tom Sawyer.
I was going to say, I was speaking on bass players, dude.
Yeah.
My first foray into like a really, really good, like where I realized, oh shoot, bass is not just like playing the chords, it's doing its own thing. Have you ever met Marty?
Marty who?
Okay, so Marty was a youth church pastor at a church that I used to go to.
Yeah.
When I was younger. And he's just like big old guy that plays the bass. And dude is phenomenal. He toured with a band called the Warren Brothers, is a great songwriter. One of the best songwriters I know. Toured with like ACDC, Leonard Skinner, like a bunch, like played like every stadium you've ever been in.
Yeah.
Like all over the United States. And he was like a session bassist in Nashville for a long time. And so he's like a bassist. And I remember the first time like he I think our bassist was out for something and he was like, oh, okay, well I can help you guys practice. And he like got on stage with us and everyone was like, okay, this big old guy like gonna play bass, and he like popped it up, he like played it by his nipples, like just craziness. I was like, what are you doing? How did you make us sound twice as good?
Yeah.
Like 100%. All of us still suck. How do you make us sound good?
Dude. Absolutely. So either way, we all have a group chat together, and the drummer comes in this evening, and he was like, hey, Bob and Rob, those are fake names. He was like, have you learned those parts for Tom Sawyer? Have you been practicing? And then I jump in like 10 minutes later. They haven't responded yet. I respond. I'm like, I'm not learning Tom Sawyer right now because I'm with my guitar teacher. I have so many things I'm learning right now. I don't.
And we're literally in the middle of recording.
It would just take a lot of time that I'd rather invest in different areas of my musical progression at the moment. And then he was like, basically saying like, I wasn't asking you. I was asking Rob and Bob. And I'm like, what? You know, I'm like, oh.
And so you just realize you got clapped back. You're like, dang it, I don't know what to do.
I'm just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Either way, so I think in the end, we decided it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
To have your drummer wanting to play Rush. That's a very good problem to have. Of all the problems you could have.
The problems you could have.
So I think I'm gonna sit down for.
He could be an arsonist. He's not an arsonist.
Yeah, he's not. Very cool dude. Either way, so I think I'm probably just gonna suck it up and learn some Tom Sawyer, dude. Because I learned Limelight, so I think if I sit down, I can learn Tom Sawyer. I'll find other time for other things I'm doing, I suppose.
Yeah, with you waking up at 5 a.m. like a serial killer.
This is true. This is very true. Either way, so good problem to have. I'm gonna learn Tom Sawyer, and because sometimes you got to do it. You know, you got to suck it up, and you got to kind of like you're playing for a team. You're playing for a team that's bigger than yourself and what your own goals are necessarily. You know what I mean? True. And the thing is, it might not be as good for our progression speed, but what if the guys are just trying to have fun for a minute? You know what I mean? I got to kind of like respect that and go, okay, I'll learn Tom Sawyer so we can have some fun playing or attempting Rush and having us butcher Geddy Lee's voice. Like this, we can do this, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Dang.
Yeah. Either way. So, how's your band stuff going, dude?
It's going well.
Completely different vibe, more settled.
Dude, we haven't practiced in fucking forever.
Oh, really, dude?
Yeah, because with the quarantine happening, so my bass player, I don't know how much I've talked about it on the channel. My bass player is a behavioral therapist for kids with autism, which super cool. His daughter, I don't know if he wants me sharing all this, but I'm going to share it.
Okay.
His daughter was born with autism. And I remember when we met right when his daughter was born, and so before she was diagnosed, so they had no idea. And he was like, you know, a super reckless guy, like loved riding motorcycles fast, and like we used to go climbing in the mountains, and he would like. I remember specifically we were up in the middle of like North Carolina, on this like 110-foot waterfall. Now there's like no trees covering it, so it's sunny, and the sunshine and like the water on the rocks just creates a bunch of algae. So it's slippery as fuck, right? Yeah. And so you're at the top of this 110-foot waterfall that goes down to just jagged, spiky rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were at the bottom of it, and we were like climbing up a little bit and jumping off into the water below. Yeah. But then we all decided like, oh, let's climb to the top and get the view from the top. We climbed to the top, saw the giant waterfall. Now on the other side, there's the big like stream for the waterfall, and it's moving kind of slow, but then all of a sudden it narrows and it goes super quick.
Really?
And there happens to be this little rock island in the middle, like it's like partitioning the small stream right before the big fall.
Yeah.
And he decides, oh, dude, I'm going to jump to the other side, get a photo, and then jump back. And it's slippery. Like, it's slippery. It feels like you're, like, literally walking around. You're like, I can't move. You feel like Bambi in the one scene, like, after mom dies. Or I guess before mom dies. You know? Geez, so you're just, like, not able to stabilize yourself. And he jumps over, realizes immediately, this is not going to go well. So he hops over, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get back. And so we just have, like, all these people who are, like, happen to be watching us from super far away. Like, oh, my God, what the hell are you doing? Like, all running down to come get us. And, like, he gets ready to jump up to the other side. Like, he's standing in the middle. Like, he doesn't know what to do. And they end up being like, all right, walk up towards where it gets a little slower. Jump in the water. We're going to grab a stick and, like, pull you out. And so we had to do all, like, needless to say.
Either way, he was reckless.
Reckless. Had a daughter with autism, was like, I'm going to be a good dad. And he's a fucking phenomenal dad.
Yeah.
Good bass player, great songwriter, phenomenal dad. But now that he's in that, like, it's an essential business, obviously. So he is going out and, like, seeing all these kids who are, some of them are sick, some of them are not sick. Like, obviously, they're not screened. Like, it's like, hey, don't bring them in if they have a fever. And they come in and, like, he has a fever. What are you doing?
Yeah, so basically you're not trying to jam it out.
Yeah, so we were supposed to be in a studio to finish up 3 more songs. You've heard I think you've heard all of them. You haven't heard them recorded though.
I have not.
What's the last one I showed you?
My City.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
So there were 3 more we were gonna do.
Really?
And we just aren't able to go back to the studio because, one, we haven't been able to practice with him, and then also my producer Adam. Shout out to Adam. If you're into 80s music, dude, he's got such a really, really freaking cool band.
Yeah.
Called Night Winds. So look it up on Spotify if you're into like any 80s or synth sort of music. Yeah. Super great.
Is one of those 3 songs Water and Gold or no?
One of those 3 songs is Water and Gold.
Finally, dude. I've been like, wait way too long.
Yeah, I need to share some on the channel at some point.
100%.
Maybe Instagram.
Absolutely.
I don't know. So either way, we haven't.
So you didn't practice too much.
No, it sucks. It's weird, dude. I feel like I have way more time, but also way less time.
Yeah. Well, it's harder to manage it because you have less like forced like obstacles that causes you to craft a path. Now it's like you have all this open space. Now build your life, and it's like too many decisions. It's so easy to go, oh, I'm just gonna lay in my bed for another hour on my phone or whatever.
My internet consumption has been through the roof.
Really?
I've been watching way too many things on YouTube. Like way too many things. Like just ridiculous nonsense things.
I'll watch a bunch of reaction videos for songs that I like. Oh, 100%.
What's your YouTube history like? I feel like it's a good way.
Dude, it's a shit ton of reaction videos, and then it's a bunch of like lifestyle-y type videos.
Dude, I want to look at mine. Pull up yours.
Okay, let's go through it. Let's put a cut.
Okay, so crazy history facts, because I was looking into like crazy history stuff.
Really?
Yeah. How to Play Good News by Mac Miller, which I'll probably post on Instagram. It's the video that I sent you a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so check it. It'll probably be out. I don't know when we're releasing the podcast, but if you saw a video of me playing piano, that was to a Mac Miller song. It's really good.
Nice. Mine's a bunch of reaction videos. I watched a lot of Pink Floyd ones earlier today. Bunch of guitar videos. All kinds of shit, and then a bunch of just like lifestyle, like good habit making type videos, and all those videos. A lot of the times, it's different people saying the same shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of them will say it in like a different light, to where, and a lot of times you need to hear something repeated anyway, because you'll hear all these. Imagine you ever have a friend inspire you by saying all these good things, like, oh yeah, these are things that I already knew, but I needed that reminder. Thanks, but then you forget the next day. You know.
And it's also repeated exposure.
Exactly. I get like myself reminded of various things just because these motherfuckers are just all saying the same shit.
Like you can listen to the same lecture on like a topic 4 or 5 times. And it's not to the last one that it really clicks. And you're like, oh my god.
Imagine each one's also like different, so it feels like fresh. Like it's from a different source almost, and it's painted different. Everyone has their own opinion on.
You know what's funny though is that there's a fine line between needing that, because in so many cases you need somebody to tell you multiple times, and other times when somebody says something like a second time in a row, and you're like, dude, I've heard that. Why are you telling me this again? Yeah. This is unimportant. And you get, like, at least for me, I get so annoyed, and then I realize, but I'm also the guy who will tell you the same story 6 times.
Yeah, it depends on like the circumstance, the topic at hand, I suppose. A lot of times it like feels natural where it's like, oh, you're right. Or with a lot of those things like that, it's like, oh, I have been slacking in that area. Like, thanks. Yeah. And the thing that you have to like do is change your lens in a sense. Like, where if I'm watching it, I'm not trying to like watch it and make my life like theirs or whatever. I say, oh, here's a fellow human freaking being. Let me see what they're doing, what their ideas and opinions are on this topic, and see how I might want to implement something that they're doing into my current situation. But I'm not always going to like, you know, just listen to whatever people are saying.
Dude, I do admire the fuck out of you for that, because it's something that I don't think everyone does. Some people do it on their own. Very few do it on their own. Just the whole betterment of yourself, I think, is super important.
It's a thing I've been working on for probably the past like 3 years or so, self-improvement. So it's just like, it's a process, like up and down, you know, because you have high points in your life where it's easy to want to get up and do this or that, and then you have moments where it's like, I'd really rather just sleep more, or eat bad, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just been a process, but as time goes on, you keep being consistent into doing what
really
is good for yourself. It gets much easier, and like the results come quicker, A recent paradigm I've kind of like started to consider is with things in this kind of nature, because a lot of people, they'll be trying to do something good and then they'll like give in after X amount of time, or usually a short period of time.
You think?
They go too hard. They set super harsh expectations for themselves, and then like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week. Absolutely, but you're not going 1 day a week. How are you gonna? That's a giant paradigm shift.
Yeah, and it's better to make small changes that you can stick with.
Consistency is way more crucial than, like, I'm not going to play guitar for 5 hours straight. Sometimes I do, but it's not like, oh, this is why I'm a good guitar player, because I play 5 hours randomly. It's like, no, I try to play like half an hour a day, and then over time that like it shows.
I was thinking about diversifying. I think you and I are alike in the same way that, and it's one of the reasons I think the channel works so well, is like this is one part of a whole bunch of stuff we're into and that we do.
Yeah.
So it's like, when we're doing this, we put all of our attention, all of our time, all of our energy into it. But we're also spread into other fields where it's like, you know what, I can pull from this in here, I can pull from this in here, and we're not just like, it's one thing and it's the only thing.
Absolutely. And I think YouTube has made it, has almost helped me in terms of that, because I've been, you and I have both been consistent with this for a very long time now. Like, consistent uploads, never really missing a day.
Yeah.
To where it kind of it gives me that sense of like responsibility. Like, I know how to be responsible with something, to where I can now employ this ability. Like, it's like a muscle, you know, that you can employ in different areas of your life.
Yeah.
But the big paradigm that I forgot to mention was kind of like separating yourself into like a wiser version of yourself that has your long-term interests in mind. You're either like, whether it's like financial, like health, like in terms of your education, or you want to learn another language, like you have all these long-term interests.
Are you learning another language?
Huh?
You learning another
I'm learning
language?
Spanish right now.
Dude, I keep getting these fucking Duolingo emails from you.
I use Duolingo. It's very nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it works. And my girlfriend's Cuban, so she teaches me Spanish too, so I practice with her.
Works. What can you say in Spanish?
Huh?
What can you say in Spanish?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Nice.
Mi tengo computadora.
Nice.
My computer. Yeah. Either way. So you have like this long-term version of yourself that's wiser. He knows better. And then you have, I brought it up to you the other day, your monkey brain. Short term, it wants to sleep more. It wants to eat this because it tastes better right now, or it wants to not do that, or blah blah blah. It wants to procrastinate. Your monkey brain.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have to, stand on those two corners and kind of like communicate effectively, like with yourself, and like let your monkey brain know, hey, I have your best interest in mind. I know you want to feel good. I know you want to enjoy your life. So and then you have to let him see your side of like, investing time in the right places, because in the end, your short-term self is doing all the heavy lifting. It's doing the day-to-day. It's doing everything.
You think so interesting to me. Like,
yeah,
it's so not in a way that I would.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a little treat. That way it's all good, and I've satiated myself.
I track my calories every day, but I ate pizza yesterday. I tracked it, so I can't feel guilty about it, because at least I see it. You know what I mean? I know like what it's doing. I know the weight it holds or whatever. And yet you have to give yourself those victories, because like you do have your one life, and you have your one life. So that's why you need to have these nice moments. But it's also why you want to set your short-term self up in the future to have consistent, like,
you want to have moments later on. You don't want to waste all your moments now and not get any later.
Exactly, because you can invest, effort in the right areas, like how we've invested effort into YouTube, and it can have payout emotionally in just various ways.
Yeah. Dude, I love our freaking community.
Community is dope, dude. So many cool people in the comments. I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of people on the whole meditation thing, like, oh yes, back in the 70s. There's so many of those stories where
we
it's
did
like
DMT and then did it. Like, I think that's different.
100%. Just so many cool comments I know are just gonna come from this automatically.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I just like sharing it, man. Like, it's just cool. It's cool to have like a group of people where we talk all the time and like.
Yeah, it's like they if you watch like all of our videos, like they know us pretty well, but they don't know us until we're like we've sat down and had a conversation, know us.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of like a different thing. We're gonna try it out. I don't know how often we'll drop these. Maybe more so now that the quarantine's happening. I mean, I don't know. Let us know what you think. I don't really know what this is.
We're kind of just chilling. A lot of people have said, I've gotten a lot of personal messages from a lot of you guys that said, hey, in this time, blah, blah, like, it'd be cool if you guys could do something, do this or that. So there are a lot of people at home right now that might want to look to something for support for like, because a lot of people aren't used to having to like face themselves for long periods
rough.
of time. You go to work
I've cried
for 8 hours.
18 times in the last 2 days.
You did what?
Cried 18 times in the last 2 days.
That's a lot of crying, dude.
It's a lot of crying.
If you need to talk, like, I'm one text away. Don't call me or anything like that, but you can, text me.
Hey, can you just DM me through the Instagram page?
Exactly. But 100%, there's a lot of people at home right now, and they're not used to having this much time. Because think about you, if you're working, you go to work like 40 hours a week or however long you're working.
Home. For a lot of people, working home. Like
exactly. My mom's been working from home recently, and she said it's been a struggle. You having to adjust and not eat everything in the house. You know what I'm saying? Because like you have a lot of you're chilling. You're like in your little home office area. You're doing your work. And it's like I can go snack right now. Or there's just so many distractions. I'm gonna go watch a show. My boss isn't here. I can because when you're in the office, I have an internship, and so when you're there, it really is kind of like spreading 2.5 to 3 hours of work over a course of like 8 hours or something.
True.
You know,
that's what I've heard from everybody that I've talked to that has worked from home or is working from home currently. Is like I feel so busy at work, but now that I'm home, I'm not busy. Like I don't have nearly enough to do. So you get like I know my mom has been staying home, and she called me and she's like, I literally did all my work in the first 3 hours. Like I don't have anything else to do. Like I don't realize how many like sidebar conversations. Like, I think of how many times like I talk to you on the phone, and I'm like, I'll call him up like, hey Andy, just wanted to tell you Chick-fil-A's open. It's weird or whatever, like a dumb thing. Yeah. And we'll end up talking for like 35 minutes, and it's like
it really happens like that.
No, and if you're in an office, it's the same thing. It's like you talk to somebody. Yeah. Hey, Janice from accounting just needs like papers. Do you want to scrap it? And you're like, all of a sudden it's an hour and a half later. Like, was the paper that interesting? Like, no, it was just really one of those things. You know?
Absolutely. So it's been a struggle for a lot of people, I'm sure. So hopefully this provides some entertainment, you know, in this time of peril. You know, travesty, tragedy,
synonym,
all these words. Yeah. That mean, oh no.
Dang. Distraught. That mean, oh no. Yeah. I don't know. What should we call this?
I said quarantine vibes, and then you said the cure to quarantine or something.
Boring. Yeah, I don't know. Chilling with the dudes.
Or the cure for boredom or something like that.
Cure for boredom. I like chilling with the dudes.
Chilling with the dudes? I feel like that's a weird title, dude.
You think
you put that on a thumbnail? I'm not going to put that on a thumbnail, dude.
No, we can totally put that on a thumbnail.
Hey, guys, we're chilling with the dudes. Would you click on that?
If it was us, yeah. If I saw this fucking sexy man with a scarf, hell yeah.
Are you serious, dude?
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I'm on my bullshit with this scarf.
We'll figure it out. It's not going to be chilling with the dudes, though.
What's it going to be? We're going to figure this out.
You really don't like quarantine vibes, dude?
Quarantine vibes sounds like we're going to sing about sad songs during the... Sounds like a spiritual during the depression.
Chilling with the dudes isn't bad. Should we have sauce in it somehow?
Ooh, that could be cool. Listen, hey, for all those people listening...
Saucing at home? Does that sound dirty?
They're just going to be listening to it and knowing the title. They're like, oh, they're almost there. They almost found it. When are we going to get it? Sauce something.
Saucing at home. That sounds kind of weird.
Sauce City?
Sauce City.
Sauce City.
Maybe. It has to be kind of clickable. I mean, something to where if you weren't already a viewer and you saw these two dudes chilling, you know it's a random quarantine chill session. Like, what would you click on? You know what I mean?
Quarantine and chill.
Ooh, that could work. Yeah. Quarantine and chill. I think that's it. That's it. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna wrap it up around there. We've been talking.
We've been talking for a while.
We talked about a lot of shit. Dude. That was a lot of fun.
We're on our bullshit. This is fun.
Yeah. Maybe next time we do it, we'll have like 5 like topics. There's topics that we'll just kind of jump to. We kind of did that here as well, just on the fly. Yeah. You might just wing them. Either way, let us know how you liked this, a direction you might want this to go, or any thoughts you have. How's your quarantine going?
Let us know. We'll catch you later.
Boom.